Okay.
Okay, so I will make, hello everyone, I will make a quick introduction. So today we have with us Ana Trifković, I hope I said correctly. So Ana holds a bachelor degree in New Energy Engineering from the School of Electrical and Computer Engineering of Applied Studies from Belgrade. She's the founder of 3 startups and a former entrepreneurship development coordinator. She's responsible for the development and implementation of entrepreneurship support programs, cross-sector representative of the European Institute of Innovation and Technology, and development of learning platforms at Startit. So thank you, Ana, so much for being here with us today and sharing your experience and knowledge within the world of entrepreneurship. And I leave the floor to you so you can introduce yourself and talk a little bit more about what you have been doing with all the startups. Thank you.
Thank you so much for having me. I mean, thanks to all of the organizers who actually made this whole project possible. But yeah, I'm happy to be here and share my experiences. So the aim of this session is for me to introduce myself, to let you know what we have done by now. And I will also tackle some of our experiences and some lessons learned. And then in the second part, I would love to hear your questions and hear what you do and try to answer as much as possible through my own experience. So and concrete examples that we had by now. So I have a presentation, so I'm gonna share it. So it's going to be easier for you to follow. But I cannot see the share button right now. Something changed. So I will give me a second. Share screen. Here it is. Hopefully you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see it.
Yeah, perfect. Okay, so here I will be representing TRAKEN Tech, a startup from Serbia. But before I dig in what we do, and sorry for the noise in the background, I wanted to let you know a little bit more about my journey. So I'm Ana, I come from Serbia. I'm actually based in Belgrade, the capital of Serbia. Right now, I'm in Brussels, but I will be back home in the morning. And actually, I wanted to tell you a little bit more about my road. So as Joanna said, I'm an energy engineer with the focus on renewables. So this is something that always followed me in my road to think about the things, how can we change things and keep it greener as much as we can. And I actually entered this, let's say, entrepreneurship startup world, however we can call it, in 2019. And it was exactly as part of one student program. So Science and Technology Park from Belgrade, they organized the boot camp for students from different universities to apply to. And we had exactly 5 days boot camp to I didn't even know the word startup, what it actually means at that moment. So I applied and I just wanted to know more because it sounded kind of interesting for me. So I went there and they brought us together. We were a bunch of students from different universities with different focuses. But we chose the only thing that we said at that moment, we chose the vertical where we want to make a change. And for us, the team that gathered together at that moment, we were focused on green tech or any solution that's going to have an impact on the environment. So actually, the team who was running that bootcamp from the Science and Technology Park, they brought us together. So they brought me and 4 other people. We were 4 females and 1 male, all together as a group. And we were working together for 5 days. Luckily, we had a weekend in between, but we went through a really speed boot camp and a course about like what is entrepreneurship, how do you make a business plan, what is an MVP, how do you make a pitch, and how can you move forward, go to the market, and so on and so forth. And among 11 teams that were over there, we actually won. So our idea was the one who was that these jury members at that moment found most interesting in our business model, and we were called FarmFit. And we actually made an IoT solution. So it was actually let's call it a bracelet, but more a necklace for animals, and to be more precise, cattle. So I'm a power engineer, and I never thought that I will be making a smart device for cows. So we gathered together and made a smart device for cows. And it was actually for farmers to have actually a smart alarm when something is not okay, so they don't spend so much time and money for all of their workers to look at cows many times a day. So if something's not wrong, something's not right, they got an alarm and they go and they check them. So we were making bracelets for cows at that moment, and we built a prototype. And with that prototype, that was like the look of that prototype was like a bomb. We went on a regional startup competition, and we won over there among 25 startups who were together for years and years. So we, as a young team, then realized, okay, guys, this is something, and we should like keep working on this idea. So the five of us went further on that, and we worked almost a half a year after those competitions. We got some funding to make like first prototypes and so on, but then we split. So this is one like my first startup experience, and we actually split because of the different things that we wanted from life in that moment. And I just wanted to emphasize this, that this was an awesome idea. I still think this is an awesome idea, and I still think that it's needed in the market and among farmers. But the team who just met at that moment, we really grew as a team in the meantime. But it was not the right timing for us, like for those people at that moment, because we wanted to do different stuff and didn't didn't want to leave everything and work on that startup. I'm actually pretty sad because of that, but it's okay to like face it that yeah, we're not going to continue, and that's fine. Then I entered actually one organization in Serbia. That's actually an organization who supports IT and entrepreneurship sector. And they're actually one of the first accelerators there is in Serbia. And I started working there, like helping with the event management, organizing, coordination with the whole like center and so on. And then Corona happened. You all know how it was at that moment. And exactly 0 events were happening at that moment. So I was jumping to the next team that was focused on the entrepreneurship development. And I helped with a lot of programs that they were delivering. 3 months afterwards, I was actually leading the whole team. So I had like 6 people working with me together. And we were developing programs, workshops, and platforms, actually educational platforms for entrepreneurs from Serbia, but also further, because we had different projects from different countries too. So I had a really great opportunity to meet some of the best entrepreneurs in Serbia and Europe too, but also broader from the US. And like our aim was actually exactly this, what you guys are doing, to bring all of those people who had their startup journey, and they did a lot of good things, but they also failed a lot, and they could actually tell us like their lessons learned and gave us some tips. So for me, for my journey, that was like one of the most important thing to hear that, yeah, we're not alone, and it's okay to fail and to move forward. So yeah, I was also like part of this this network that Joanna already mentioned from the European Institute of Technology. So if you have afterwards any questions regarding that, like if you're aiming to go to some program or you need some extra support afterwards, let me know, and yeah, I can see what can be suitable for you. And then I will skip to my two other startup attempts. So with four friends, so we're five in a team, we co-founded together Bifrost. And Bifrost is actually a startup that produces biodegradable material out of industrial hemp. And our aim is actually to like kick out plastic in our daily use, but most importantly, things for single use. So all of the whole group that I'm working in, we're all scouts. I don't know if somebody of you is involved in scouting, but like for us, the most important thing is when we go to camps and stuff like that, we aim to leave the things exactly as they were, or even better. And even though we're so green and everything is awesome, we realized after lots of projects, we did lots of projects together, like organizing camps for 1,000 participants from 15 countries. We realized that it's impossible to like skip the single-use plastics or single-use items. So we wanted to make a new material, and we're producing it actually from waste material from the production of industrial hemp and food production. We combine it together and we make a new material. So this startup is still running, and in my free time that I don't know how I have during the weekends, I do that. But during the week, so Monday, Friday, but also sometimes later or whenever, I'm actually employed and a co-founder of TRAKEN Tech. And that's where I am right now. And this is what I'm going to focus on our today's talk. But if you have any questions about Bifrost or FarmFit or any previous experiences, I'm happy to share, of course. So TRAKEN is actually what TRAKEN came together to enable small volume energy producers to access the high value energy markets. So I'm not going to like bore you guys and pitch our idea, but I just wanted to tell you what we do and why we do it. So in Serbia, but also in rest of Europe and further, we always aim to like support the renewables and the small producers and so on. But there is a problem that the ones who are producing less than 1 megawatt or less, they're actually not visible to the energy market actually. So we have seen that the small producers, they're in Serbia called prosumers, but maybe you also know about them. Their excess energy is being off-taken by the distribution system operators, and the price that they getting from them is actually, yeah, I would not say bad, but yeah, it's the same. So they don't have the possibility to act on the market and get a fair price for the energy that they're pushing to the grid. So, and it's a really big problem that they are not visible. And we have plenty of small producers who cannot participate in the market, but also in some situations when it's really important to be flexible and to find sources from different, from closer, then it's also a problem for the network too. And on the other hand, we also have aggregators. They're actually the actors who have the license to act on the market, but these small ones are totally not visible to them. So even if they want to include them, the operational costs are too expensive for them. So that's why we built TRAKEN. This is actually a platform who makes all of these small volume producers visible. And this operational excellence that we're offering, since we're using cutting edge technology, which is blockchain, we actually produced power purchasing agreements, not to bore you guys with like these special terms, but they can actually act much, much faster than they are right now. So for example, right now, power purchasing agreements can be signed in like in the time frame of 5 years or a year, maybe less, and R can be as you have your readings. Actually, it can be 15 minutes or less. So like the technology is moving, so we want to move with it too. And we also have aggregation dashboard for the platform for the aggregators, and they're actually our customers, so they're the ones who are paying for our platform. And on the other hand, we have a mobile application for those small producers, prosumers, who actually pay nothing, but they can have an additional value of it all. So I also want to introduce you my team. We're actually 4 core team members. We have Strahinja, Nemanja, Pavle, and me, myself. Strahinja is also electrical engineer, as well as Pavle. Pavle is our CTO. He's focusing on the development, since he has a lot of experience in the development of blockchain technology. We have Nemanja. He's actually he studied economics, so he's for the numbers and so on. But he's our COO, so he does all of the operations on like business strategies and so on. And we have Strahinja, our CEO. He's the one who actually came to the idea to do this, since before TRAKEN actually was here and as an idea. He worked for more than 5 years with the energy companies and did lots of hardware things for them, and then realized the necessity of doing this. We also have our developers and our community manager that we involve. They're not full-time engaged in TRAKEN, but we involve them as when we need to develop something and we need to improve it. So they're like partially involved in TRAKEN. But we also have our advisory board, because we are totally sure that we don't know it all, and that we need the support and advices for the people who are present in the industry and like they know how it works. And I also wanted to touch upon shortly about like our roadmap and what happened by now. So we actually started in 2019, so a long time ago. I joined later, but I'm also considered as a co-founder, as we shaped the idea afterwards. And by now, we actually managed to raise 220k euros or maybe more for the development of our idea. But we managed to build the first prototypes, the MVP, and we actually are piloting right now. So we're involving 5 producers, small volume producers from Serbia, and we actually have shown that this is actually working. And right now we're hoping to enter the market and yeah, to be there and actually get some revenue from the market. So this is where we are. There are plenty of programs that you can also like participate in or join. So if you have like any questions about any of them, I'm happy to share, of course, but I will not bore you with this at this moment. If you have questions, we can talk about the go-to-market. But I wanted to actually like share some things with you. I'm not sure how many things you've been through this whole program, but I actually wanted to emphasize the first thing, like why startup failed, or plenty of things why startups failed. I'm sure that you maybe tackled some of these things by now already, but I can like show you on my own example. For example, for FarmFit, about the team, that it was not actually in the moment of like developing a startup at the moment. So, but from my experiences from TRAKEN and from Bifrost also, I really want to emphasize the team and like the importance of like having the right people with you. And if possible, it would be really good to have like yeah, a diverse team, but in a multi ways of your skills. So to have an expertise in different fields, so you can actually have have a team that can cover each section in their own way. And even if you're right now like maybe 2 or 3 people, I don't know how big the teams are, or if you're planning to actually like move forward your like entrepreneurship ideas or like actually establish a startup, it's totally fine to like not have some specific expertise in your team, but to be fully aware of it. Because, for example, I will give you an example of Bifrost. So we're 5 people on the team. We're developing materials, so new material, and none of us is actually has finished like chemistry or something with materials. So at one moment we like tapped on the top of our knowledges about it all. But then we realized, okay, now is the time to actually hire someone or involve somebody who has the expertise in that field. So we partner with the University of Belgrade, actually the faculty of technology over there. And by now we had like, I think 7 iterations of the material that we're producing. So we like changed a lot of things from the beginning that we started by the end. And I also wanted to tackle the thing about the MVP. I'm not sure if you had like this if you mentioned MVP in this work during these weeks that you were working on your ideas. But something that I would do differently, and I will say that also from my experience from Bifrost, because it's something like pretty concrete, like it's a physical product. It's not a software as TRAKEN Tech is. If I can like travel to time and go back, I would never build the whole production line, because we actually made our own machines. We drew them from scratch. We patented them. So we have like a patent of our production line. And we needed to do that in order to get the material. But it's a long way. It's a long journey. And it's almost 2.5 years that we have been working on that and still are not on the market. But if there is a possibility, and trust me, there are lots of examples on the internet too. I can give you some examples where you can look up, is to like really try to figure out what is like the minimum effort, the minimum things that you can put in the beginning, and to showcase what are you doing so that you can have a feedback from the other side. But when I say feedback from the other side is actually a question: did you already sold it to anyone? If you're not able to sell it to anyone with your MVP or the things that you're telling that you're gonna make, then this is maybe a time to reconsider, is it a good idea or not? Please don't lose like 2 years of development and making things, and then you enter the market and nobody's going to buy it. So yeah, we're still not on the market, but we already have a list of the people who subscribed and are waiting for the product to be done so that we can send it. But yeah, so make sure what is a real MVP, and like put not that much effort in that, but try to explain it well and sell it. Maybe I'm gonna stop here. I still have 2 or 3 things to tackle, but we can do it through the Q&A, and I can share the things in between. Yeah, I don't want to take a lot of your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna. Is there any question in the audience to Anna? Yes. Ole, you have a question? Go ahead, please.
Hello, thank you very much for giving me a chance to ask a question. So, thank you very much, Anna, for your presentation. I would like to ask you maybe more about your project TRAKEN, as you have mentioned that you have aggregated a lot of data in it. Have you ever done any work in the field of prediction of energy behavior of consumers there or not?
Yes, yes, we did. It is also integrated in our platform. Yeah.
Okay, I asked because recently I got maybe in chat I sent a link to one competition on that matter, and that competition has a rather high money pool as a price pool, a rather higher price. Another question, maybe is while my own idea for startup isn't about solar energy. Currently, I'm connected to people who are into solar balconies. Like here, for example, I know that this is linked in Ukrainian, sadly, so you need to translate it. There was a seminar about the introduction of small balcony solar panels here in Ukraine. And may I ask you, have you done your startup only in Serbia, or have you exported that idea abroad, like for other countries?
Thank you so much for all of the suggestions and tips. I will check it out in the chat what you have put there. Right now, we're present only in Serbia. So we tested, and this pilot we have done only with the producers from Serbia. But we made partnerships with actually players who are part of the European Epic Spots. So this is like a market operator in Europe. So through their network, we're actually planning on going towards Europe. Firstly, it's going to be Italy, Spain, Portugal, and Netherlands. So those are the countries that we picked for now.
And what about the laws? While your system is about aggregation, speaking about that solar balconies, they are in some countries such systems can be aren't allowed. For example, in Hungary or Belgium, so you can't put if you don't have a system, of course you can't use your way to aggregate data on them because nothing is installed. So speaking about the laws, has there been any sustainable change in the laws in Serbia which influenced your startup?
Thank you so much. Yeah, this is a really important thing for us, since the prosumer as a role actually in Serbia is a pretty new thing, and aggregator as well. So we have a list of aggregators, but they're not fully using their potential as they can this moment. But for example, for other countries, but also in Serbia too, there are actually European sandboxes that we plan to utilize and figure out. Those are actually a dialogue and something that you can try out with the regulators together and to see how you can actually apply some innovation, not skipping the rules, of course, but try to stretch the rules in order to prove that it can be done better. So, for example, in Serbia, we can do it right now, but that's why we actually choose aggregators. Our first target were actually the DSOs and actually energy suppliers. But we realize the regulation is not right now in this moment that we can utilize it in that way. That's why we're acting through the aggregators, because they do have a license to bundle them together and then act on the market, because they need to be the balancing responsible party. So I'm not sure about the specific countries that you mentioned at this moment, but it is important that the entity who is going to be and utilize it, actually the customer who is buying it from us, to have the license to be a balancing responsible party. So that's the most important, because the network is so it also diverse, then you need to follow it, and somebody needs to be responsible for that. So to follow all of the production and consumption to balance it.
Thank you very much for that answer. Because here in Ukraine we also have the issue that in some cases not every consumer can legally sell, for example, electricity produced from solar panels to the grid. That's an issue, and it's sadly it's not yet solved. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And there's here maybe one more link for people who would be interested in that topic is from Deutsche Welle, where I just put the information about that, about countries here, just in case, if it would be set here. Yeah. Such models are becoming increasingly available here, just maybe some information that could be useful. That such systems aren't allowed into countries in the EU, like for example. Okay, and maybe that would be the last question. Can I contact you later? Because here in Ukraine, there still would be some people interested in your technology and maybe in some sort of collaboration on the yes, is that.
Of course, of course. I've put here already my email address and our website too. So yeah, feel free to contact me, but you can also add me on LinkedIn, write to me directly over there. I'm like happy to respond always, and we're always happy to connect with others to build partnerships and like see however we can like find a synergy or collaboration. Of course, yeah, happy to be connected.
Okay, I just sent you a link through LinkedIn. It's okay. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Oleg. Is there any additional question for Anna?
No additional questions. Thank you very much for all of your answers.
Okay, thank you. I think Tamar, you have the hand raised, so go ahead.
Actually, I have a question for you, Anna. Your first startup was about cow, monitoring the cow, but
Yeah.
you was at this time studying engineering,
Yes.
right? And then you moved to another sector, and now you are working with a third sector. So why you or how you change these sectors? Like what's the motivate you to make this changes from sector to sector, and why you didn't afraid, why you didn't I think you are working now outside your comfort zone when you are going to a new field that you didn't study before. So what's the motivation behind this?
Thank you for the question. So we'll start from part of it. So we were 5 people from different universities, and we wanted to solve like an environmental problem. So we gathered around a problem that we want to solve, and on our 4th day of this boot camp, it all came together to this necklace for the cows, and that was the idea from one team member because she did some studies around that. And actually, one thing that that goes through all of the 3 startups is this green component, and like to do something that is going to impact the environment. And for the first thing, that was actually an OLED technology. So it was actually organic technology and electronics that we used in our devices. And okay, I was there pretty comfortable because we were like tackling the challenges of batteries in the device and like building the all of those schemes for the device. So that was okay for me. In TRAKEN, this is totally my field of where I'm comfortable in. So this is, I guess, totally clear. And regarding Bifrost, it's also a green component that comes from like my personal activities in order to like do something to like throw away plastics or like to work on the things where I want to impact the environment. So agriculture, actually food component in the first and the third thing in Bifrost is also something that is common together, because in the beginning these were farmers, and now for Bifrost those are plant nurseries. And yes, I learn a lot, and I stretch my zone and comfort a lot. But there is my motivation, actually. In that lies my motivation to learn more and like to stretch these things and knowledges by applying the business development that I have learned in the meantime. I'm actually not seeing Gall. Maybe to stop sharing. Oh, so I can see you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, Dori, you have a question.
Yes.
Hey Anna, how you doing?
Hi, Dori.
Thank you very much for the presentation. It was super interesting. I wanted to pick up on one of the things that you mentioned. So one of the points at the end on the importance of the team, and how having sort of a diverse team, diverse skill set, etc., is super important. I guess in your first FarmFit venture, you were sort of put together as a team. But I'm interested in how you built the team in the others, and if you have any sort of advice for others who are, for example, individuals with an idea, but without a team in place yet, and how to go about doing that.
Yeah, of course. Thank you for the question. I really agree of the importance of team, because that's something that I really feel comfortable in TRAKEN and Bifrost too. And I think this is one of our biggest advantages that we have. I can like really say we wouldn't be here without the team that we have. So for TRAKEN, this is the thing is that they came together. They used to work together on a project, and they have their own development studio, blockchain development studio. And I was the last one to join them because I'm an energy engineer, and they needed one. And we actually met in Started, where I used to work and do the entrepreneurship, like workshops, courses, and so on. So we actually popped on each other in a co-working space, and like they told me what they want to do, so I joined. So this is how we got together. If you have the opportunity to like be a part of events, whatever they are, do so, because that's the place where I met my team, and we're like developing this great idea together. And the second team, Bifrost, we have known each other for more than 15 years now. And we have been working together in the Scout community. We actually the CEO of our company, his name is Nenad. Nenad used to lead exactly this team through projects in our scouting community, and we all come from different cities. So every weekend we picked one city to be our core city. Every weekend we go there and we meet. So yeah, these are really like my friends for more than 15 years. And luckily we have like different skill set that we know exactly how to work with. So we built a lot of projects by now. And like the next thing that you actually asked, like what would be if you're alone totally, and like where to find team members. I just talked like 2 days ago with one girl from Serbia, and she also does some kind of bio-based material that it's biodegrading, and she's in a lab all by herself, and she's surrounded with the people who are like doing their own projects, but they're not like open to do any business, if you get what I mean. They're not like, okay, let's put our ideas into the industry, into life, you know. So my advice for her was to find a program and to like meet other people who have this like let's call it like a moving part, and like somebody who wants to do something. But then also start from yourself, like from the people that you are surrounded. And I'm sure there are people who can hear your idea and like would love to help you in that, and that have like different skill sets, and they can of course like help you with it. But also as I mentioned, like the organizations and like where you can move, it's always good to like go in to the community, because for example in Serbia, in this organization called Started, we also have programs for individuals to like apply and search for the teammates. It's also the same at the science and technology parks. So I am sure that somewhere in your surrounding, in your community, there are lots of individuals who are looking to work with somebody. But from my experiences by now, there are plenty of people who wish to do something, but they don't have an idea. And if you're the one who has an idea, I'm sure it's going to be like really easy to find somebody who's going to help you with it. So yeah, reach to the community and check it out.
That's super helpful. Thank you very much.
Yes, Tamar, go ahead, please.
Sorry, I haven't seen the hand.
Yeah. Actually, I have a follow-up on Rory question and one question more, maybe two questions. Is a follow-up on Rory question. I think Rory asked this question, if I correct Rory, because most of our colleagues here in the call or in this program, they are in very early stage. So there is some colleagues who have idea, but they have no team. And this, your answer, I think, is perfect answer. So this program and other program, similar program, give them like a space to meet, change knowledge, and build teams. And you don't need to build the team today, but at least get the contact, and the team can be built in 1 year, in 6 months. So no different culture, no other people with different background. This is a good step to go in this entrepreneurship world. I have two questions. One of them related to the different EU program or the different programs that you mentioned in your presentation, that our colleagues here can apply for, or can use it as like seed fund or so, like can apply to get some support in order to kick off their activity. And the second question, maybe you can answer the first one and then we give you the second one.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering, should I like propose some of the programs that they can apply to, or
Maybe propose, and then you can just tell us how these things is working. Yeah, like for example, when you are going to, I see that you involved with the EIT kick, climate kick.
yeah,
How this different program is working? So they give you money, they give you much type of support. They ask to have a percentage of your company, for example, or how these things is going.
yeah, yeah. Happy to answer that, and I will try to keep it short. So depending on the country where you are and on your community, like what is present over there. So I cannot be sure what's happening exactly in your country, but we can check it out and like ask the people who are present there. So I can talk from my case. So Tamer, have I seen it correctly? But you're also involved in EIT raw materials, right?
Yeah, actually, this project, the SEEDplus, is EU, but we have two other projects from EIT raw material.
Awesome, cool.
So actually,
Okay,
Cloud
so
XI is built by EIT raw material.
awesome, because I used to like start an incubator of raw materials in Serbia. That was the very start, like looking is like Serbia for something like that or not, and like just putting it all together. So yeah, that would be actually one recommendation. I need to emphasize it at this moment, because if you are eligible for some of their programs, so depending on the value chain and so on of what you do, I would really recommend it, because the European Institute of Innovation and Technology, they have like different verticals specialized on like the things you do or where you act. So check them out. They have like food, digital, used to be in energy. I'm not sure if they were, I'm sure that they're still working, but I don't know how active, or do they have like accelerators. I don't know who I mentioned right now, but there are like different verticals in the specific field. And I'm sure that you can like say your idea out loud and then check where is it actually fitting in in what vertical. So depending on that, you can see like what support they offer. And one program that is maybe awesome for all of you guys here, because it's like for the early stage and like idea stage, is EAT Jumpstarter, because it connects most of the verticals, not all of them, together. And you can apply over there and have like specialized mentors from your field. For example, if you're working in the domain of food, you will have experienced mentor from that domain to help you go through the program. And this is actually like it lasts actually a couple of months, so it is a long program, and it takes time, but it offers you a lot of like workshops, lectures, and mentorship support too. And in the end, you have the possibility to get the prize, actually to compete among the teams from your vertical. So not to compete as from food with somebody who is from EAT Digital, And I'm not sure what are the heights of the prices right now, but they used to be 10,000K for the development of your idea. So depending on what you're doing. So, for example, raw materials, from my experiences, this is the vertical that is hard to enter because there are not so many teams that develop things inside of that, because and it is kind of for new teams, it's hard for them to find their way over there because it's getting the whole value chain. But when you hear raw materials, you think it's something like really strictly for the industry. And for example, in Serbia, for us, it was a challenge to find teams who have an innovation in that field, because usually you need to be present in that industry for a long time to have the possibility to figure out what are the challenges of this industry and the problems that you can enter. But if I'm definitely like, advising you to talk with Tamer and to check if you are part of the value chain, because if you are, I see it. So that's my personal opinion. That's what I didn't want this to go to YouTube. I think this is one of the verticals that when you enter their pipeline, they push you till the end. And their support is really specialized. Like they have great experts and partners from big companies, but also they offer a lot of financial support. So if I have like the possibility now to compare it a little bit, there are not so many teams, but they're pushing you like from one program to the other, and like you're like part of the pipeline and you go through. So yeah, talk with Tamer and see if you're part of their value chain. Hopefully I responded to the question.
Actually, Ali, I don't know if he's here. He is on the screen. Ali is like owner of a startup, Access Earth, and this startup is one of our startups that we accelerated in another program, and he won the third place in the AIT Jump Starter,
Ooh,
the
wow.
previous one. So we have some experience here in the team, but this is good, like to reflect on that for the other, because
Yeah.
it's important for other who are looking for like a place to start their journey, so they can find something like this. And as you said, like it's 9 kick covering different sectors, and most probably in each kick has sort of acceleration way or support to startup. So we encourage all of our colleagues here to just search a bit, and then we're here to help. So
Yeah. And mostly, just to add on like what they take from their side, mostly they don't take equity. Usually they're like just free money, actually giving grants and support for you guys. Mostly, not all of them. Some of them like have like special like safe agreements that convert into an equity in some point, but usually they're like just like financial support in the end. Yeah. Oleg, you have a question? I'm not sure if I pronounce your name correctly.
Yeah, it's correct. Yes, thank you very much. I have only one very little question. You mentioned that when you have been discussing your startup, it was like one meeting per week. But have you ever used any special applications or programs to check out the progress of each team member or not?
Do we, if I heard correctly, did we found an app to follow? Sorry, I'm just gonna wait for the test. Okay, now.
No. Well, have you used any specialized programs to check the progress of each team member? Like not only the meeting, but like some sort of plan, like Gantt chart and so on.
Yeah. Yeah, thank you. Maybe if I understood the question correctly. So do we use apps and like some tools to follow our performance of each team member,
yes,
right?
and maybe you can tell a few names which you can recommend on that.
Yeah. So unlike like the other organizations and like companies, we don't have like obligatory tools that we need to use. So it's on our side what we want to and wish to use. So we all use Slack. That's like something that's always on and always there. And we also sometimes use Monday and ClickUp for like daily tasks and so on. And we also use Trello, but not anymore that much, because some of the things that we have over there are integrated in the things that we're using. But in the terms of performance, actually, like from my personal experience from both of the teams, no, we're not using it like to follow what we are doing. We are following like what we have done as a team on a monthly basis. So we write where we were, with whom we had contact. We have our CRM platforms where we follow that too. But no, to be completely honest, we don't follow like how much is who doing in the team. Because, for example, in Bifrost, this is kind of weird because we're all really, really friends. But we realized that we cannot like go through without tools, even though, okay, I'm your friend, but when we're talking business, we really need to talk business and do our work. The thing that we don't like push aside, and it always needs to be, is to have at least once a week to have a meeting, the whole team. Even though we have all of those tools, nothing can like change our like to joint meetings on a weekly basis.
Okay, thank you very much for your answer.
Yes, Tamer.
Yeah. I have a last question from my side. Um, uh, what happened if you failed in your startup? This is just again to give experience to our colleagues here. So if failing is a problem, or
No. No, I mean, of course, we failed a lot by now. I need to like emphasize that we failed so many times. But like we still didn't reach that moment like, okay, we failed that much and this is the whole startup and the whole like venture is going to be a failure. I don't know yet, but I only know it from the FarmFit experience. So we failed as a team, and that was not easy because there were so many people who believed in us. And yeah, I mean, we all already did lots of things and so on, but it's not easy to like say, okay, guys, we failed as a team, or we're not going to continue. But then you move forward. Like from the rest of the team, none of them, for example, from that student team at the beginning, none of them actually started on another venture except me. So I guess it's on the person who is actually for these kinds of actions and yeah, road. They were like in the academia or somewhere else. For example, our founder, our CEO Strahinja, he already has 5 ventures on his list, and he had already 2 exits. Actually 0 failures by now, so I cannot give you that example. But he had 2 exits, and 1 exit is from a company that now has over 2,000 employees in 3 continents. So yeah, so I'm really like confident that together as a team we can do something and predict where can we fail and then act upon it. I'm also going to give you one more example from Bifrost. We actually, okay, producing a biodegradable material, but we wanted to go to the food market and to produce packaging, food packaging. And then at one moment, we realized while we were like showing the things that we have done, we realized that this is going to be a long road. And in order to get all of the food certificates that this material is okay to use for that, that we can more quickly go to the market. And we pivoted towards our pilot product that is going to be a replantation pot for plant nurseries. So I guess failure is on every corner and it's on the team and in your experience to like see, okay, try it out, okay, it doesn't work, or let's go that way.
Thank you very much, Anna. I don't know if there is any additional question for Anna. No, maybe not. So maybe we need to wrap up the session. Thank you again, Anna, so much for your story and all the advice and experience shares that you gave us. Very helpful for us and for the students for sure. So thank you again for your time, and for sure we'll talk soon. And see you in the next time.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank
Thanks,
you.
Anna. Ciao, ciao.
Thanks, Anna. Thanks a lot, Joanna, for leading the session.
No worries.
And I think we'll meet tomorrow, right?
Yes, tomorrow
Yeah.
after 2 o'clock.
2
European.
o'clock, 2 o'clock, I
o'clock.
think, or so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Thank you
So,
so much, Summer. See you
bye-bye.
tomorrow.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.